So the CIPD model, known as 7 C's of change, that helps us give some structure to the 7 C's of change. The thing always happens in my head, I always think of 7 C's awry, and I think 7 C's awry happens if we plunder into change and don't plan it, don't have a structure to it, don't consider all of the elements. So 7 C's of change gives us the opportunity to make sure that we've missed nothing. It also, I really like the model because you could come into this particular structure, this cycle at any point. Depending on where you sit in the organisation, depending on where you're introduced to the change, it might be that the crafted vision of change has already happened. It's been done for you, and you come in at that point. It might be that you're the person that's responsible for the whole change, in which case you come in at this point and you're party to choosing the members of the team that might go in. So I'm going to start from this point, and it's going to be a really quick recap of each of the 7 areas. The choose is about choosing the team, the most appropriate people to implement or plan for the change. And sometimes we need to be a little bit more innovative than maybe we have been previously. So you might want some specialists in there, you might want a variety of people from different areas that bring something different to the table. You might also want to include some of those resistors that we were talking about earlier, some of those people that might sit in the maintenance cell. Very useful to have them as part of the team, because then they'll help you drive it. Crafting the vision, we need to ensure that the vision links in with our strategic plan, and the vision actually achieves the end goal. Do we know what a good job looks like? Connecting is often one of the ones that's missed. How does what we're doing, our change project, fit with what else is going on within the organisation or globally? Very often we can get so excited about our particular bit of change that we miss that somebody else is doing something really similar in another department, and we're both going on in our separate ways, as opposed to why would we not connect that work and see if we could produce a joint outcome. Consulting and communicating very often get either mushed together or misunderstood. We'll be invited to a consultation about a change. It's not a consultation at all. All they're doing is briefing us and telling us what change is going to happen. Don't tell people it's a consultation if what it actually is a briefing session. But we do need to do the consultation. We do need to know from the people who are going to be using the new process. We need to know from the people who are going to be at the other end in terms of service users what their ideas are. If it's a briefing about where we are at the moment and what's happening, and we're just communicating the change, then be very clear that that's what it is. Don't call it consultation if actually what we're doing is giving information. This again, another of the building blocks. If we've forgotten the day job, if we've got so excited about our change, we're normally expecting people to continue to do their day job as well as going through the change process. That's often forgotten, so we need to help people cope with the change, linked back to adult learning cycle, comfort zones, etc. We also need to make sure that they can still do the day job and business as usual. So the last element of the model then, capture. No good management model would be complete without the opportunity to reflect on what we've done, evaluate how it's gone, pick out the bits that have gone well and replicate those, and ditch the things that haven't gone quite so well. And it might lead us to maybe changing the people who are in the team, for example, or maybe it's not working because we haven't crafted the vision properly. So all it does, it's just another model. It's not complicated, but what it does is gives us a structure to follow to make sure that none of the crucial elements of managing a change processes are missed out, and that we've got all of our ducks in a row before we move on to the next stage.